everyone, and welcome to this opening introduction for our upcoming masterclass titled Succession Planning and Talent Management, which will be held on the 23rd and 24th of October. I'm Vlada, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. James Talbot, who will be leading this masterclass. Dr. Talbot, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to speak with you about your upcoming masterclass.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'd love to start by asking you to briefly introduce yourself and your extensive background in human capital and talent management.
Okay, again, thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you some of my experience and some of my background, which is about 30 years of human capital, human performance improvement experience. In that time, I've developed and implemented strategies for organisations that align with their goals, their HR procedures, their strategies, their succession plans, their processes in terms of employee engagement, and also some transformations which have been cultural and also transformational change. In that time, I suppose my career has really been about designing and executing programs that enable organisations to increase their level of staff potential, reduce their turnover, build strong leadership pipelines, and effectively retain their best talent in the industry. So yeah, it's been a busy 30 years.
That's fascinating. You've had such an extensive career in this space. With all your experience, what led you to develop this particular masterclass on succession planning and talent management?
There's a couple of reasons, really. The first inspiration was really all of the challenges that I saw when I travelled and when I went to different countries and different organisations. Having been lucky enough to travel to over 100 countries, I found that there was a profound sort of impact in organisations that had a well-structured succession plan, that had good leadership pipelines, and had a talent management strategy that worked. And unfortunately, some organisations didn't have that, and unfortunately some organisations required that need to implement those systems and implement those sort of structures so that they could actually develop and foster those leadership pipelines. So this masterclass really is basically designed to share my experience, my practical insights, some very, very key actionable strategies that organisations can tailor to their own particular challenges. And yeah, it's an increasingly competitive market and environment, and talent is continually moving, so you have to do the very, very best you can to retain it and excite it and keep it engaged.
Very interesting, thank you so much. Succession planning is often talked about as crucial for business continuity. From your perspective, why is it so important for modern organizations, and how does it contribute to long-term success?
Very, very simply, succession planning is essential for the modern organisation because it ensures that strategic process is in place to identify key leaders, future leaders, in the key roles, in the critical roles, and in the core role. Today is a rapidly changing business environment. Unexpected retirements, unexpected departures, organisational changes, transformations, and stability and continuity is often very difficult to maintain. So succession planning allows you that chance to have continuity, to prepare the organisation to navigate yourself through those challenges, minimise the disruptions, maintain stakeholder development, and keep the knowledge within the business, keep that knowledge within their organisational structure. And moreover, succession planning motivates people to see where their journey in the organisation is, and it motivates them to want to have a clear career path. So yeah, succession planning is undervalued, underrated, and it is very, very crucial to the modern organisation.
Thank you. I imagine identifying and developing potential leaders can be quite challenging for companies. Based on what you cover in this masterclass, how can companies effectively support and develop future leaders within their workforce?
Companies really can effectively identify their potential leaders by implementing a number of key strategies. There's about 5. I'll just very briefly touch on them. The first one is having comprehensive talent assessments, understanding that talent from one industry doesn't necessarily transform into another industry, and understanding that talent, that level of competency, skill, behaviour is aligned with the values of the organisation. That's the first thing. Your leadership development programs, and there are an awful lot of them in the world, are mostly generic, and those have to be very specific and tailored to your needs, because your style of leadership, your style of communicating, your style of developing people within the organisation will be very, very different. You are a unique organisation, and you have to understand that. You also have to understand that the succession planning has to be integrated. There has to be a sequencing of the induction, the recruitment and induction into your immersion into the business, and then your integration into understanding what it is you're there to do within that organisation, and that then leads to independence. The independence is the employee who will potentially just make an impact in the business, and once they get to that independence role, through succession planning integration, you then have somebody who will become a future leader. One of the other things is that, yes, you're going to have cross-functional roles, you're going to have challenging assignments, and essentially potential leaders should be able to transition into different parts of the business and be able to function and be able to cope and be able to broaden their perspective of the business, bring problem-solving abilities, and they should be able to step up in their leadership role. And then finally, I think the last of the 5 pieces really is that it's understanding that you need to create a culture of continuous learning. You need to create a culture of continuous feedback and continuous support. And that really is, I think, the 5 key sort of elements to that.
That's really insightful. Thank you so much, Dr. Talbot. Who do you think will benefit most from attending this masterclass, and why should they consider this training essential for their career or organisation?
The simple answer to that is everybody. However, let's narrow that down a little bit. Obviously, HR professionals, talent managers, people who are in rewards, people who are in engagement, anyone who's in the people sphere, anyone who's in that people culture thing, piece. Business owners, to understand what they have, what they're trying to achieve, entrepreneurs, anyone who's running that business, to get a better insight into how they can safeguard continuity, safeguard their business, maintain the knowledge, and keep those key employees within the business. Who else? Yeah, any learning development professional. Any learning development professional, new to the business or seasoned and very, very well known, and probably someone who's been has a number of years within that sphere. But more importantly, this succession planning has to have, and this masterclass needs people who are senior or mid-level leaders, because buy-in is absolutely crucial, and within solid, absolute buy-in by the senior leadership, succession planning will fail. That's about it, I think, yeah.
Brilliant. And why should they consider this training essential for their career or organisation?
Oh, well, not to say that 30 years of experience and fixing things that have basically gone wrong for many companies, I can very, very simply shortcut their experiences is in a nutshell. I'll show them why organisations fail, I'll show them why they succeed, and I'll show them what the difference between having talent and having fantastic performance is. So once you have an understanding and a mastery of these concepts, it will make it more effective in your current role, and it will make it and it will prepare you for higher levels of responsibility and leadership going forward. So yeah, it will help, definitely.
It sounds like a valuable opportunity. Thank you. What practical tools or knowledge will participants take away from this masterclass that they can immediately apply in their roles?
Well, looking at those 5 key areas again, I would say that particularly HR professionals and talent managers and people in the people sphere, you'll basically come away with more tools that will enable you to understand the process of succession planning better. Unfortunately, over 90% of companies don't have a working succession plan that is valid, and that's mostly to do with well, two key things. Number one is not understanding the process and why it works. And the second thing is they are unable to make the data, the valuable data that that organization has, and turn it into something that's transformative and enable them to actually sequence the key parts of that succession plan. So where the data comes from, how you get the data to be 100%, and make it work for you. That's one of the key things. In terms of the business owners, in terms of the CEOs, the entrepreneurs, what they'll understand is they'll understand that basically how valuable aligning all of your processes and sequencing all of your documentation and all your data to the value structure of your business will be, because people don't leave organizations because of bad managers or payroll or anything like that. People leave organizations very simply because their values are no longer aligned with the organization. That's it. In terms of learning and development, professionals, wherever they are on the ladder, whether they're beginners, intermediate, or whether at the higher level, you'll benefit basically because you'll be learning cutting edge strategies that I can show you that work within certain frameworks and existing frameworks that will help your company fast track quicker and better. And I think that's pretty much it, really. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure many people will find it highly beneficial. Thank you so much. Okay, as
I look forward to seeing you all there. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Talbot. Wanted to say something?
I was just going to say, I look forward to seeing you all at our next masterclass. If you're unable to make that next masterclass, then I look forward to seeing you at the one after that. And I look forward to helping you transform your people and your organisation into the organisation it has the potential to be.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dr. Talbot, for your time and detailed responses. I'm sure our audience will find this discussion very valuable, and we appreciate you sharing your expertise with us today. And we look forward to seeing the positive impact your masterclass will have. Thank you so much once again. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much, and thank you for welcoming me into this interview. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon.